Welcome to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite makes the process of becoming a published, best-selling author as simple as sipping your morning cup of coffee. You can learn more about Authors Unite at authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today, our guest is Santiago Leon. He is the founder of Sleon Productions and tech consultant and a web developer. So welcome to the show, Santiago.
Thank you very much for having me, Tyler. It's a pleasure.
Of course, man. We'll dive right in. The first question I have for you is, what's the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Falling into a career that I never knew that it was legit. It's something that I always thought when I was in high school that I had to either be a doctor or to be a lawyer. But I became a web developer, and that turned out to be way more way more value, because now people are going into the media side, the tech side of things. So it's become a big need in today's industry.
Definitely, man. Yeah, it absolutely has. And what's the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Having that whole tech knowledge, staying up to date. A lot of people ask me today, how do I fix my computer? How do I make my company, 2018? How do I get onto YouTube? That's one of the most valuable things, is to help people when it comes to the world of tech. You'd be surprised, a lot of people have not switched over, and it's 2018.
I know, man, it's crazy.
Obviously, maybe that time might run out in the future, but at the same time, just living it.
And what's your best piece of overall? It might tie in, but what's your best piece of overall business advice that's not necessarily industry specific?
Think outside the box. Get ahead of the competition. People out there that invent products or apps or any type of tangible things, get ahead of the game. Do it early. For example, when cryptocurrency came out back in 2011 or 13, people were way ahead of the game. Whoever entered first, became a millionaire back in December. So always think outside the box, go against what's the norms. And yes, it can be uncomfortable, but at times it could pay off in the future.
And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Start my business early and don't get into student loans. I think when I was 18, I didn't think about starting a business. I didn't think that at all. I thought, go to college and do the process. But I think a lot of kids today are saying being an entrepreneur is a cool thing. Back then in my time, it wasn't. So, I would have said that, and maybe not get into student loans, go to community college and save up some money.
And in your opinion, what's the key to happiness?
For me, is having faith in God. I think trusting in Him. I think a lot of people out there are trying to look for answers and ways, but for me, it's having my faith in God, because He's guided me through the hardest times and the good times. So.
And what's the best book you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from it?
Grinding It Out by Ray Kroc. He was the founder of McDonald's, and I saw the movie The Founder, and I was very curious more about him. So I read his book, and it changed my life completely, because he wasn't afraid of growth. He wanted growth. He wanted to go upscale, go nationwide, go global. And that mindset kind of changed my life a little bit, because before I was more stay comfortable, stay in your zone. But now, I want to increase. I want to grow.
And what's your favorite quote and why?
Carpe diem, seize the day. That quote was given to me at my senior year of high school. And I look at it, and I say to myself, man, I got to seize the day every day, because today could be my last.
100%, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Last question I have for you is, where's the best place for people to find you online?
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram, and my handle is Sleon, Sleon.
Perfect, man. Thank you again for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for listening to the Business Blast podcast. And don't forget, if you're interested in a simplified way of becoming a published best-selling author, make sure to check out authorsunite.com. We'll catch you on the next episode.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.